Welcome to Crickets and Kettle Drums, the BPIsports.com column where the glass is always half empty. I am your host, Trevor W. Riley, and today I will be discussing the NBA's Unoriginal Six. Most people are familiar with the NHL's Original Six teams: the Boston Bruins, Chicago Blackhawks, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, New York Rangers, and Toronto Maple Leafs. Not surprisingly, those teams won 45 of 46 Stanley Cups from 1928 to 1973, including 38 in a row. Let's also not forget that for a great number of those years, there were only 6 teams in the league as well. Would you believe me if I told you that the NBA has a hexagon of misfits that are nearly as successful in the present day? Well, you should, because it's true. 3 nomads that sprung up in Minneapolis, the Lakers, Fort Wayne, the Pistons, and San Diego, the Rockets, a city that couldn't hold a team until its third try, the Chicago Bulls, who previously had the Stags and Packers franchises, a team from some podunk basketball league with a red, white, and blue ball, the San Antonio Spurs, and the pillared Celtics in Boston will have won 29 of the last 31 NBA championships, including 26 of the last 27, at the end of these 2010 NBA Finals. I sought and tried to put these numbers in sexier terms, but in the end, I decided to keep the pre-calculus textbook at bay for all of our benefit. Quite simply put, over the last 31 seasons, these 6 teams have had an average of 22.3% chance of winning the NBA title in any given season, and they've accomplished this feat 93.55% of the time. Conversely, the other 24 teams are 2-20 in the NBA Finals during this stretch. The only 2 spoilers were the 1983 Philadelphia 76ers, who swept the Lakers, and the 2006 Miami Heat, who defeated the Dallas Mavericks 4-2. Some folks out there will say that this isn't really as impressive as I'm making it seem, citing facts about large media markets, gold medal superstars, and the fact that many of these teams were favored anyway. Those are all good points, but this wasn't even happening in the NBA back when it was much more probable. From 1947 to 1976, 5 teams won 26 out of 30 championships. The Celtics won 13, Lakers won 6, the Warriors won 3, and the 76ers and Knicks both won 2 each. Despite having almost double the total opportunity of their present-day counterparts, a 42.27% chance, these 5 still won a lesser percentage of championships at 86.67%. If you're wondering why a 6th team wasn't added in this comparison, it was because no other team won multiple titles during the time frame. One also has to remember that it was much easier to keep together teams throughout this era, as the modern salary cap rules were enacted for the 1984-85 season. There were caps in those years, but they didn't create as much competitive balance as the current cap setup does. Regardless of which team wins the 2010 NBA Finals, part of me will be satisfied just because the trend anomaly continues. So much for me not being stat trendy. I won't be making an official prediction on this series. However, I am rooting for Herm Schaefer to defeat Dutch Garfinkel by the reverse difference in their total letters, ironically enough. And if this does happen, I will undoubtedly have another CNKD nugget for you. Well, that's a wrap for Column 4, Episode 5 of CNKD. As always, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or other feedback, feel free to send them along via email to cnkd2010@aol.com. Again, cnkd2010@aol.com. You can read this article on my website, www.bpisports.com/CNKD5. Well, folks, that's 5 down and 999,995 to go. Peace.